Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a
Good
very
evening.
warm welcome to our weekly live session on sustainability. It is an absolute pleasure to have each one of you joining us today for this meaningful conversation on sustainable lifestyle. A sustainable lifestyle is not merely about recycling, planting trees, or reducing waste. It's a way of thinking, a way of living, and a way of coexistence. So today we are not talking about the protection. We are not talking about the progress. We are not talking about that how small and cautious decisions are going to bring change in this globe. Today we are going to talk that sustainability is no more a matter of choice. Sustainability is something that is essential. That is the way of life. That is in our day-to-day operation, day-to-day choices, day-to-day lifestyle. And the reason is very clear. As many a times it has been said that we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from the future generation. It is a very famous quote, and today we are going to discuss about this in detail, that what are we doing with this planet, with this with these resources that we have taken, we have borrowed from the future generation. So let me welcome each one of you in today's session, and let's begin the journey towards a more cautious, compassionate, and sustainable future. And I extend my warm welcome to our thought leaders, those who are the global thought leaders. We have Dr. Raja Mohan from Singapore. A big round of applause to Dr. Raja Mohan.
Thank you.
Yes, and more details about him, he himself will tell when we are
Because
going
I'm in the meeting, I'm not listening anything.
Let's welcome Dr. Riaz Ahmad from United Arab Emirates, who is an instructor, a lecturer, a professor at New Horizon University in UAE. And we have with us a very learned friend, Dr. Abhijit Sarkar from India. I extend a warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Before we begin, let's ponder upon these powerful thoughts. A sustainable lifestyle is not about serving the earth. It's about learning to deserve it. Either we deserve to live on this earth or not. Of course, those who are spoiling it does not have any right to live on this. When every life matters, every choice becomes an act of sustainability. And true sustainability begins where selfishness ends and coexistence begins. Live simply, consume mindfully, love universally, leave a legacy of hope. And that's what is our message today. The future belongs to those who choose coexistence over competition, compassion over consumption. And how we can be the responsible consumers, how we are going to manage SDG 12 as it is suggested by United Nations, SDG 12, that suppose that responsible consumption and production. So my dear friends, let's begin the show. First of all, I request each one of you, please introduce yourself and tell us about you, about your achievements, about your work quickly within a minute. Let us begin from Dr. Raja Mohan, please.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Haleema. I'm Dr. Raja Mohan from Singapore. I am the educator. I am research oriented in the artificial intelligence field, and I am doing the many trainings and many conferences, attending many conferences. Even Dr. Haleema also one of my guide. She's requesting participating in many of her conferences. Thanks, Haleema, for that. And I am doing many trainings and these kind of research publications, and even I wrote a book on AI and business and finance also. So this sustainability is a very interesting topic. So I wish to have active part of on it. Thanks,
Thank you,
Dr.
sir,
Haleema.
and welcome to the weekly show.
Thank
And
you
yes,
so
Dr.
much.
Abhijit Sarkar.
Yeah, good evening, and my name is Dr. Abhijit Sarkar. So I started my career in administration and infrastructure. I am PhD by qualification. I am also an architect, and for us, sustainability is very important because we are managing the built environment, that is the building, and building itself consumes, the energy, the largest, energy all across the globe. So our responsibility towards sustainability is quite big, and being an architect, for me it's very important that the element of sustainability is made an integral part of every design element, so that we create a location which is not only sustainable, but it is meant for every gender and
Yes.
generation.
Welcome, Dr. Abhijit. Welcome.
Thank you.
And yes, let's go to Dr. Reyaz Ahmed, who is looking so enthusiastic and full of passion to speak about himself. Yes, Dr. Reyaz.
Thank you very much, Dr. Haleema, and my respect to all the Dr. Abhijit Sarkar and Dr. Raja Mohan.
Thank you so much.
This is first time meeting you all. Regarding me, what I should say, I'm an educator by choice. I'm life threw me on the air where I have been passing through many stages. Did factory steel factory work. I work in Indian Railway. I became a civil servant, and I did all this. But I fall upon a platform where I need to educate the people. So I have become educator by choice. This is what I can say, and I'm trying to satisfy all the requirements of what the teaching professional requires. I'm a good educator. I'm a good researcher. All these what I'm doing. I don't want to talk about. I have written 3 books. I have attended many conferences, more than 20, 30 conferences. But these are the few things that I can say. But main thing is, ask. Yani you say that the saint itself will tell you then what I will talk about that one. So when we will discuss each other, we will come to know each other. Let us help, and I have taken resolution to help my failing, especially the teaching community. I have my YouTube channel where I take the interviews of only the educated peoples from universities, where I highlight their performance, because my belief is that this is the community which makes all other community but being ignored by all of them. So I
Welcome.
have
Yes.
taken responsibility, and I have taken my interview for great personalities all over the world. 49 people I have taken interview. I also conduct panel discussions on burning issues related to educations. So these are the few things which I mentioned it. Later on, we will be connect each other, come to know each other. So this is what I can say at the moment. Thank
Thank
you
you
very
very
much for
much.
being.
Thank you and welcome. Wonderful introduction. We have great thought leaders today. Those who have spent their decades of life in researching, in experiencing in the field and in the field of education. So let's begin today's discussion that is called Friday Manthan. So in the Friday Manthan, the first question I would like to ask to Dr. Abhijit Sarkar, that how can individuals transform small daily choices into powerful sustainable actions? What do you think about this, Dr. Abhijit Sarkar? How
uh,
small choices of individuals can transform into the powerful sustainable actions?
Okay, so Doctor, sustainability is all about collaborative approach, and we also should set an example, because as a leader or as a as a part of a team, whatever I do will be transformed to my team members, or to the employee of the organization, or to the larger community, because the community is well connected through various channels, through events, and so on and so forth. So whatever we do is translated. So a small initiative, we are very cautious when we are at home. Why we are cautious? People don't think about sustainability, but people think about cost. If we are not sitting at a room, we are very cautious that okay, the lights are on, we should stop it off, because it will consume energy. So we should also think it is not about the cost, but it is also about the carbon emission, the amount of CO2 emission it is conducting. So in every organization, I have stated an example, not now, maybe at least 2 decades back, when I started eliminating papers from my office, and especially moving from non-recycled paper to recycle. And that how I came across this, when I used to see the rag papers collecting papers. I did a research on them. They said that they are collecting these papers and giving it to an agency who is recycling and giving it to some of the company. So then I started getting into an act that we are anyways buying newspapers. So instead of selling those newspaper, I used to give it to an agency, and against that we used to get recycled papers. But over a period of time, I also realized that why should even we buy newspaper when there is a digital newspaper available? So as a leader, you should also have convincing power with your management, with your employee all across, highlighting about the sustainability. It is not about just saying that by moving into digitalization you are moving towards sustainability, but rather you should be analytic and give them an analysis that in case I am saving so much of paper, what how many trees I would be saving, how many quantities of water I would be saving, and what is the attribution we are doing towards mother earth. What we did, another small example, these are small initiative, we don't require any investment. Paper cups were eliminated by me because I felt that the amount of paper used is very extensive, and it is impacting larger portion of sustainability, because first we are using paper, secondly the waste management also becomes a challenging part. So we are also creating waste. So what we did, as a matter of solution, I gave steel mugs to everybody and ownership of cleaning life with everybody, because we want people to be self dependent. So that's how people started using their own cups, cleaning them, and going to the cafeteria and taking the cup from tea and coffee from the the outlets. So that what has happened, we could save a lot of
That's
papers.
really, Abhijit ji, I appreciate. That's really a great initiative. And I really appreciate your thought process that as a leader, you have to take such type of decisions and you have to influence the people, those who are around you and those who
Correct.
are with you. So let me
Correct.
come to Dr. Riaz Ahmed Sahab. Dr. Riaz Ahmed Sahab, when we are talking about individuals, leaders are also an individual. And Dr. Biti Sarkar has given a very valid point that as an individual leader, we have to take such actions and we have to influence the people that is impactful. For you, I would like to ask that what is one change every person should start today to create a greener tomorrow? So if we talk about one change that we can start immediately today itself, and that is going to ensure that we have the greener future or greener tomorrow.
Thank you very much. The question that the topic that Dr. Abhijit Sarkar was talking was also very relevant. Actually, the main point is what we are through sustainability, what we are actually looking for. We are looking for survive in this world which is in the transgressive mode. We want to uplift from going backward to the forward by using such a mean which will make our survival mode in the future. This is what the original meaning of sustainability. This is what we are. We when there was in the like 50 years ago, when there was a green revolution in India, then we have the industrial revolutions. All we did just because of need and necessity, without thinking of that whatever industry we are putting into for our benefit, is it going to harm to us or not? We didn't think of that. We realize this at a later stage when damage has already been done. So, taking all these, what has happening by our own effort, by the scientists, by the educator like us, we just did and satisfied the requirements without thinking about the other part of this one. So we are in a position where the whole society, whole world, whole humanity is going to be collapsed, and that is why this sustainable call is being given. In my case, to make a greener greener, what we should do, like for example, we are now going to the automations. Like all the factory people will reduce the carbon. How they can do? So all the factory people will not be asked to come from different place. So they will be using the car, vehicles, and all that. They should be given a room in the campus itself, so they don't have to travel, or they have to use cycle by bicycle. They can go and they can reach in time without using fuel. So this is one of the way when a big company can accommodate their staff in a hostel, or they give them residence. They don't have to travel by using car and other things. They will be just by walking or by a cycle they can reach. This is one of
And
the things.
Dr. Reyes, I appreciate your this point, not using the individual vehicle and pulling and coming together or even living in the campus.
Yeah.
So that is really a very, very valid point that you have mentioned. Last year, when we calculated in one of my workshop of sustainable lifestyle, we conduct 1 month program. So everybody was calculating their own carbon footprint. So when I was calculating, mine was like in 2025, I'm talking about, it was really very high. Because in 2025, I traveled a lot to the other countries, you know, Dubai, Singapore, Malaysia, then again Maldives, then again Dubai. This year, consciously, that day I felt like really, I felt when I calculated, I felt very bad that I am working for sustainability. And my example is that my carbon footprint is higher than the participant, those who are learning from me. Then I purposely realized that I have to cut short this and try to make maximum discussions online. So that personally, I need not to travel all the time to all these places. And thankfully, within 6 months, I have made only one international travel so far. And I'll try to maintain this and try to make it minimum. That's really
very
a
good,
wonderful
Dr.
thing.
Haleema. Yeah.
Wonderful. So, Dr. Riyaz, we will come back to you once again. Let me just involve Dr. Raja Mohan Sahab, because all doctors are here. Fortunately, all 4 of us are doctors and full of knowledge and experience, but we have to look at the time constraint as well. So, Dr. Raja Mohan, let me ask you that what role do education and leadership play in building a sustainable future? So, focusing on education and leadership.
Yeah, thanks for asking, Haleema. And my point of the sustainability is it involves 3 R. Okay. First R is reduce first. Second R, reuse next. Third R, recycle last. So reduce, reuse, recycle. These are all the 3 R's which makes the sustainability, the world become greener and other things. Okay. So give me a minute. Let me pull out my point. Okay. The education and leadership is the changing mindset. It's building capabilities and guidance for collective action. Education equips the knowledge, value, uh, act sustainability, but leadership is the awareness and coordinated long-term change. So these are all both strongly supported by UNESCO and reimagining education, global policy guidance, everything. So higher education role always keeps the mindset to keep the world green. And this education, the mindsets of sustainability and leadership, it should change into the action towards the create informed citizens, responsible institution, resilient communities, etc. I have 5 education points. Education creates awareness, skill agencies. It builds scientific and environment literacy, develop critical thinking and system thinking, encourage value-based decision making, empower youth to participate in climate and community action. Higher education institutions play a major role for future leaders and generating evidences. Second point, leadership turns knowledge into collective action because leadership can have many people to follow, right? So it's a value-based leadership grounded ethics and authenticity and holistic system thinking to understand interconnected challenges, partnership driven leadership that unites diverse stakeholders to manage it differently. These leadership qualities help scientific shift of awareness into action. So education plus leadership becomes sustainable transformation. So the key point.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for these valid points.
Okay.
We have a very learned principal with us, Nageshwara Rao ji from India, Hyderabad. Nageshwara ji, if we talk about the challenges, we all have spoken so, all my learned speakers have spoken about so nicely that how small actions can contribute in the greener future. So if everybody thinks in this way, on the same line, everybody consider it is essential. Then what are the challenges? Why still we cannot see? Yes, I can see the little awareness is there. People are taking actions, but why those actions are not impacting as much as we need to save this our earth, Mother Earth? So what are the challenges? What do you think about this? Nageshwara ji, I am speaking to you.
Yes, good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Nagesh.
Good evening. We have a lot of challenges. We have to learn from from small child to elderly people. Like you saying, today all doctors are available. We have to learn from everybody. There should be no what you call egoism. Second thing, save water. Plant more trees before cutting the trees for whatever purpose you are using. And how many of you having water harvesting fit at home at your working place? I don't know. Compulsory, you should have start from tomorrow. So it will recharge the bores, whatever you have at home. So there will be no shortage of water. Then use it for the future purpose, because future people, they'll feel for a shortage. The energy resources are getting depleted. That's why we should have a thinking mind in the process, whatever we are using, whether we are wasting or not, whether we are consuming properly. Recently, our Prime Minister also said, use fuel, say properly, reduce, because one person goes behind 9 cars, 7 9 cars will go. So we have to reduce. Next, use public transport. Second thing, when you use public transport, you can save energy, you can save money, you can save time also. We'll start early, we'll try to reach the place. Third, next, save energy for the future generation. Do not waste food, do not waste energy and all the resources. Finally,
Thank you very much, Nageshwara
one
ji.
more answer, sir, that is refuse to take plastic. Refuse to take plastic. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nageshwara ji. Yes, these are the challenges, biggest challenges that you have already mentioned. But to overcome these challenges, I think willpower is very important. One day I decided that today I'm not going to touch any plastic. And that day was so challenging for me, because that was the challenge given to all my participants of my course. So when I do any course, first I try to set an example by myself. So when I ask them that today is no plastic day, you will not touch any plastic at any moment, at anywhere, then I tried my level best, and it was really very tough day. And everywhere when we observe, we find, oh, this nariyal pani wala is also using plastic only. This chai wala is also giving us in the plastic cups. And when we buy any material, then they also give. When I went to the tailor shop, he also gave me my dresses. Although I gave him my that paper bag. When I was giving him my dresses, it was in the paper bag. But when he returned, he gave me in the plastic bag. So everywhere it is so difficult. We have to change the mindset of all the people. Yes, Riyaz Saab, I am coming back to you with the last question, because we have to wind up within 7 to 8 minutes now. And when I will come back with their last messages also to all the participants here, to all the speakers here. So yes, Riyaz Saab, I'll come back to you, and I ask that how can businesses balance growth, profitability, and sustainability, and their environmental responsibility? How they can balance? Because you have worked in many organizations, so that's why your experience is very versatile.
No, it's a very difficult and tough question, but I would like to explain this one. Look, I will go in a very deeper point over there. Then I will come back to original question. The problem is we are only satisfying our need without thinking the impact of this in future. This is one thing. Like, who discovered plastic? Did me discover? You discovered? No, it's a governmental decision who made a decision to create. A scientist did this one, and they applied, they allowed to use. Did I make this decision? When I'm being served by that, I will be using. I have no knowledge about that. 99% people don't know about the impact of plastic. And that too also the educated people come to know when the plastic started creating problem. So decision of all these which we want to save now has been taken by not individual person on the government level. And they are educated people. Now think about the AI is being built in Gujarat. Do you know how much water it will be requiring? After 10 years, you will come to know people don't have water in India to drink. But we are going after that. Who will control this? Our little effort can help with this one. If I save one glass of water, will it help and suffice to the whole community? No. The problem is coming from the upper level of educated people who we made the master. They are the one who are destroying everything. All decision, industrialization, who made decisions? The government will division, they gave us comfort and we start enjoying, forgetting what is going to happen to our children next year. So problem lies within the honesty and integrity of the people who is holding the power. They are not taking the correct decision to save the humanity for which they have been appointed for. They are just doing thinking about that. I must do the other
See,
than what
Dr.
the
Riaz
previous
Sahab is
without thinking.
directly, Dr. Riaz Sahab is directly
So
putting
just
the
final
responsibility on the
final
government.
point.
So my dear friends, do you think that only government is responsible? And
That is what I'm
No.
coming back. That is
No,
what
no,
I'm
no.
coming back.
Yes,
Everybody
Dr. Riaz.
is responsible.
That's what I'm coming back. Suppose
Yeah.
now every government allowed that I will go to digital. Can a person like we oppose? We cannot oppose. We go. Thing is, we are going to cooperate. We are going to do. We are going to follow everything. But happening what? The one who is entitled to apply the rule are the one who is breaking the rule. You give the money and he will allow you the plastic. Like this. So that are the things. So I'm coming back to now.
Everything
The thing was,
disposable.
every individual should be responsible enough to contribute from his side. He should take an oath that he is not going to do what is going to harm to other. This is what is required. And this should come from the educators. Educators can do these things, teach their children in a way that they understand his all the things should not affect the others. What his activity, his knowledge should be beneficial for. This is what is needed mostly. Otherwise, just it will continue to be like a talk and people will be getting advantage and the human being afterward will be suffering, and this is going to happen like this. So that's what
Thank you, Dr. Sahab. Thank you very much for your very valid point, and I agree with your points. And with that, I would say a couplet that is very famous, and I would like to support my point with that couplet. That is, "उनका जो काम है वो अहले सियासत जाने, मेरा पैगाम मोहब्बत है जहां तक पहुंचे." So let them do whatever they are doing. If they are not fulfilling their responsibility, they are answerable to the public, to the court, to the many authorities. What we can do, that is my say, and my organization believe in this, EduFam, that what we can do to prevent it. Yes, you are right that policy makers play a very important role, very crucial role in this. But along with the policymakers, where there is a rule that plastic should not be used, even there also I have seen people using plastic. You know, the traffic laws and norms in India, I have seen maximum people breaking the laws of traffic, and they feel that, okay, I am a macho man and I did this. See how I have broken it.
Doctor, sorry to interrupt. In the cigarette, it is written injurious to health. You are providing cigarette and selling cigarette, and you are saying injurious to health. How this kind of thing is there? You are selling cigarettes, earning a lot of money, and they ask the people not to take a cigarette. These things are not going to work this way. But people...
That's why God has created hell and heaven both. Now it's into our own hand where we want to go, whether we want to go to hell or we want to go to heaven. That's what the government gives us, the freedom. You drink alcohol, you smoke, but you know what is harmful for you. You should avoid it. Isn't it, Dr. Raja Mohan? What do you think?
Yeah, of course, because it's an individual responsibility, right? Because we should be control on it. We know the impact on the health, on the wealth also, on the earning, on the respect in the society, everything. Yes, you are right, Haleema.
Okay, so now let me ask you people your message to the viewers of this program from the platform of EduFam. And EduFam is a UAE-based company, and we believe in promotion of sustainability awareness. This is awareness program where we are talking that how sustainable lifestyle can impact. You know, earlier I was also very fond of eating out, going, having gala time, and then all those type of things. If we are watching movies, then spend hours scrolling. These all were in me before joining this sustainable initiative, sustainable mission. But now I realize that even a second is very precious if we are using it sustainably. So we should learn how to utilize our resources, resources of wealth, resources of health, resources of our faculty. All our faculties, we are custodian, we are not owner of them. These hands are not mine. These hands are given for certain work, and I have to do with that work where that is not going to harm this globe. That's what we have to keep thinking. So may I ask all of you to please give your very brief, crisp punching lines so that the viewers can remember your message and your lines. Please go ahead. Yes, Sonia ji, what do you want to say?
Hello, good evening and assalamu alaikum. So this is Sonia Raja Labuni, and I have been serving as a high school science teacher for the last 12 years at Scholastica, which is the pioneer of English medium schools in Dhaka, Bangladesh. But from my 12 years in the classroom, I have learned that sustainability, it's basically not a distant goal. It's a daily habit that we build one lesson at a time. But I just want to ask a simple question. And I think from any of our honorable guests, anyone, if you would like to answer my question, is that beyond the traditional assessments and the grades, how can we practically measure and sustain the real world habit transformation in young people, especially when they face immediate pressures like competitive exams and digital distractions? That is the only question that I would like to ask. And thank you for inviting me again.
Can I come in?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, yes.
I will just give one simple answer. The topic was the daily choices. The daily choices can only make the difference. Daily choices looks a small in appearance, but powerful in consequences. Like for example, a student can cheat in his class, and the other one can take the decision of that he will not do what he will not cheat whatever happens. So the one who is choosing to cheat is actually losing his integrity, his honesty, all these he's losing. The other guy who has chosen not to lose even at the cost of the lower grade, then he's building honesty, integrity. So these are the choices that you will make repeatedly for a long time. Then only all kinds of problem can be solved easily. It cannot happen one day. A tree is not grown in one day. Like when you are taking meal, you don't eat 1 kilo of rice together. You take piece by piece. So you start with the small things, and then you will surely grow and reach to the destination that you want to reach. This is what I can say. I hope I answered the question.
So, Sonia, also I have to say one thing, it is the culture that matters, and the culture is definitely from where he's coming and where he's going. One is the family which he is representing, and second is the education institution where he's studying. So the moral responsibility lies on both the entities, that is the parents, the grandparents, and the education institutions. So I have been working closely with, I am advisory board of various colleges and institution. I go as a guest faculty. So I teach student about, what is that, the corporate life is looking for, when they get into a corporate, what kind of quality they should move, because in today's scenario, one thing is more important, that, everybody should work with ethics, ethos, and integrity. That is very much important. But over and about that, the personal traits like being empathetic is more important, because when you go into a corporate, you will find diverse crowd. You will have people who are quite senior to you, people who may be quite junior to you, people with diverse gender, diverse caste, creed, and community. So you should be able to adapt that change, and you should be able to mingle with those kind of communities. So it's very important that the academia and the senior leadership should collaborate, they should partner, and there has to be a consistent guest session conducted by the senior leadership to educate these students, because what happens, school education would confine to the theory, could be explicitly taught, but what is happening in the real world, there where the industry leaders could come, educate, they can rather take them to the organization or a campus and show how people are working and how they are, behaving, how they are demonstrating trait. Because if I take them to an organization and if I show them, a housekeeper has done a good job and I am just keeping my hand on his shoulder, that itself justify that, I am eliminating any kind of discrimination. Because sustainability, if you see, is a part of ESG, and ESG talks about, equality, and equality is of the various part. So senior leaders should, come into the picture, and academia should involve them in continuous education to the students. That is very much important, because today's generation is highly influenced by technology, and whatever AI, chat GPT, or whatever is being told to them, they would rather follow that. At the end of the day, the practical experience should come from leaders like us. We can share us the case studies, example, and nurture them for the future. That is what my piece of advice would be.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Abhijit ji. And I'm happy to know that you are in the many boards of advisory board of the colleges and universities. Then, of course, we are going to get back to you so that we can spread our message of sustainability and sustainable lifestyle to different places. Thank you very much for your advices. Now, Jes Raja Mohan ji, last 1 minute for you. What's your strong message to our viewers regarding sustainable lifestyle?
My strong message is, if every person reduce just a little, one item, 1 watt of electricity, 1 kilometer of travel, 1 meal of worth of waste, then the world reduces a lot. So, a greener tomorrow begin with one simple choice of today. Choose less, choose wisely, choose sustainably. That is the concise message for me.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And with this, we come to the end of today's program. Nageshwara ji is also with us. And thank you for joining. Thank you, Sonia, for joining. Thank you, Dr. Abhijit Sarkar. Thank you, Dr. Riaz Ahmed. Thank you, Dr. Raja Mohan. And my dear viewers, without you, this program was impossible, because you are the ones who are providing motivation, inspiration to us to conduct these type of programs every Friday. If you want to participate in these type of sustainability programs, you please contact us on the given number 918527118529. It is complimentary. It is just to create awareness among the common people that how small choices have the bigger impact on our environment, on our Mother Earth, and on overall sustainability, sustainable life. Live simple life to be healthier, happier, and to live longer. I'm telling you, healthier, happier, and let me add, wealthier also. Happier, healthier, wealthier, and live longer. Live simple life. Be simple. Still I feel that sometimes that I miss to walk in the ground without shoes and without sandal. I love that. I love doing that. Let's go back to the ground. Let's go back to our soil and then live happily. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. May God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.